Hey there, Saki here from Saki Tech, and in today's video, I will share over 10 plus hidden features and tips found in your Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. So let's dive in and discover. And if anyone is wondering what case I'm using on my Galaxy S9 in this video, I will drop a link to the case in the description box down below. Alright, let's dive right in. Alright, so the very first tip has to do with the keyboard. So let me launch any application that's going to be using the keyboard. Let's do this one. Tap over here, and there's the keyboard. Now with the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus, the keyboard has gotten a slightly different layout. As you can see on the top, you have a bar that has a settings button here and also an arrow that points downwards. So basically when you tap on that arrow downwards, it reveals more menu options. The one that I want to talk about right now is the one-handed keyboard. So if you tap this guy, the keyboard actually gets minimized, not minimized, gets resized to a more manageable size so you can use it with one thumb. So if you're holding your phone like this and you want to just talk with one hand in a text message or just do some research on the web, you can use one hand just like this to type it. Now if you are right-handed and you want to have the keyboard on this side, you just tap on this thing and it actually moves over there. It becomes right justified, or you can left justified. And when you're done using the one-handed mode, all you do is tap this icon here, and that's going to resize the keyboard to its regular size. Alright, so that's tip number one. So tip number two, if you look at my messages application right over here, on the top right it says 4. That simply means I have 4 messages. Now, you can actually change that icon to something completely different. So you can actually customize that little red circle that has a number in it. Now let me show you how to get that done. So what you want to do is you want to go to the settings right over here and then go into the notifications. On the top it says app icon badges. Now first and foremost, you can actually just disable this. If you disable this, you're not going to see anything when somebody sends you a new message or you get a notification on any app. But if you do enable it, you'll be seeing by default the number of the things, notifications that you have. So let's go back in here. And if you tap on this side over here, of course it's going to go right in. You can scroll down and you can say show with number, which I have right now, or you can do show without number. So in this scenario, when I go back out, you're going to see a little circle dot instead of the actual number. Now you can go one step further and you can go right back in there and you can enable the show notifications option here. So if I click this, what that's going to allow you to do is you can touch and hold an icon. So I can touch and hold it, and at a glance it'll show me who sent me that message, and it's also going to show me the last message. Now it's going to be changing for every other app. So this is the Messages app. So with this app, of course, you'll see who sent you the message. In this case, Pixel 2 XL, that phone sent me the message, and the last message received was hey. So that's a quick summary. Now again, if you don't have this enabled, and if you press and hold, you're not going to see that quick notification preview. Okay, so I like to enable as much as I can to maximize my ownership. So I keep the numbers and also the show notifications. Alright, so let's move on to the next tip. Now the other thing has to do with my messages as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send myself a text message right now so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So let me send it right now. So as you can see, I'm going to get a notification icon on the top here. It says who sent it and what's the content. Now that's something you may want to disable for privacy reasons. So all you do is you go to messages, you tap on this icon on the side, go to settings, and then go into notifications. So make sure you go to new messages right over here. You tap on this thing, and then here it says importance. You tap on that, and you can actually disable the pop-up on screen. That thing we saw was a pop-up. So if you do high, then it's going to sound, it's going to give you the notification sound, but it's not going to show you the little pop-up window with the content and the sender of the actual text message. So let me go back out, let me show you, let me send myself a message right now and you will see the difference. Okay, so as you can see, I did get a new message. It's saying 1 over there, but it did not show me the pop-up notification, which is absolutely fantastic for privacy reasons, just in case you care. Okay, the next tip has to do with the actual display. So what I want you guys to do is go to the settings, and the first one is in the display itself. If you tap this guy, and if you scroll all the way down, make sure the block accidental touches is in fact enabled. What this is going to allow you to do is it's going to prevent the screen from detecting touch input while the phone is in a dark place, such as a pocket or a bag, which could actually prevent weird things from happening. Okay, so make sure this one is enabled. But the other one is, if you go to advanced features in the main menu and tap this guy and scroll all the way down, you'll see something called the touch sensitivity. Now this is only going to apply to people that are using a screen protector. So in my case, this does not need to be enabled, so I can disable that. But if you did have a screen protector, what that does is it actually takes away from the touch sensitivity on the screen a little bit, so you can enable this option, which is going to restore the touch sensitivity. So even with a screen protector, the screen can read your input perfectly. All right, so make sure you enable this if you have a screen protector, or disable it if you don't have one like me. All right, let's move on. Now the next tip has to do with the Edge screen. So I'm going to be making a full in-depth video about the Edge screen, but in this video I'm going to talk about the one option, one panel you can enable. These are the Edge panels right here that you can enable that gives you S Pen-like functionality on the Note series of the smartphones. It's not going to give you a full functionality, but it's going to try to emulate some of those functions. So let's go to the settings. Okay, by the way, if your Edge panel is disabled, you can go here instead of here. So you can actually pull this down, go to settings over here. You can simply go to display and just scroll down to the Edge screen, and then that takes you to the same settings we would have if we had actually tapped on this one here. So go to Edge panels, and let's just disable everything. I'm going to show you the one I'm talking about, but you do have to have one enabled at all times. So this is the one I'm talking about. It's called the Smart Select. So let's enable this and let's disable this, and let's go back out to the main screen. Now if you bring this in, you have now something called the Smart Select at your disposal. Smart Select allows you to capture any part of the screen using these various options. So you can do something like this, so rectangle, okay, just confirm that. So I can actually choose, put this rectangle anywhere, resize it if I wanted to, and then click done. And what that happens is it actually saves that selected area into my gallery. But on top of that, I can actually draw on it. I can share it directly. I can obviously save it, or I can tap this and it can actually extract the text of the area that I selected. So this is also great for extracting text from a picture. Okay, and then let's go back. I'm going to show you one more thing here. If you go back over here again, you can tap oval. So with this one, it actually selects a circular shape, so you can actually resize this. You can select anywhere on the screen, okay? You could have an app launch. You can actually be capturing the app. I'm just showing you the home screen for ease of demonstration. So let's click done, and boom, it selects that area. And again, if there's any text in the image, the phone will detect that, and it's going to allow you to extract the text from that image. Absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, there's a couple more options here that you can actually go ahead and play yourself. But these two tactics over here are the ones that interest me the most. All right. And the final thing I'm going to talk about has to do with your data plan. So let's go to the settings, and let's go into the actual connections, and let's go to data usage. So basically with this, what I like to do is I like to go down here, and I like to make sure that the mobile data usage here is properly set. So if I tap on this guy, you're going to see a couple things here. The most important thing here is that 2 GB warning sign. Every time I use 2 GB, I'm going to get a warning from my phone within this cycle, all right, this billing cycle. So the first thing I do is if you tap over here on this settings screen, it allows you to set a limit for the warning. So I can change that limit to 10 GB. If I have a 10 GB plan and I don't want to go over it, I like to get a warning before I make that mistake, because if you do go over it, they're going to charge you some extra money. And then I can set on what date my billing cycle starts. You can basically copy this from your actual bill. So your bill might actually start on the 5th of each month. So click set. Now go back. So between March 5th and April 4th, if I go over 10 gigabytes, if I come close to it, I'm going to be getting a warning. I recommend that you lower this number a little bit so you don't actually hit your real limit, but you get a warning. For example, if your real limit on your data package is 10 gigabytes, set this to be 9 gigabytes so you become aware that you're reaching the end. Alright, so that is under data usage and mobile data usage right here. And of course, you can tap on these guys to make the same modifications. Alright. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you learned some new tactics for your Galaxy S9. Make sure to browse my channel and watch all the other S9 and the S9 Plus videos, tips, and tricks that I have. And again, if you want to know what case I'm using in this video, I will leave a link in the description box down below. Now make sure to subscribe to Saki Tech and give this video a thumbs up, and also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Saki Tech Online. Have a fantastic day.